Hello, welcome to another brand new Unsourced Wall unboxing. We're going to take a look at the recently released, in fact, freshly released Masters of the Universe Origins Mattel Creations Anti-Eternia Skeletor, or what they've called He-Skeletor, which is a name that I'm not a fan of. I mean, we have Anti-Eternia He-Man, and so just having the Anti-Eternia Skeletor that be called He-Skeletor, I don't know, the branding doesn't work for me. I like calling him Anti-Eternia Skeletor, even though, of course, he doesn't have any of these skeletal things in this release, which we'll get into a little bit later. But it's surprising, right? And if you've been following the releases and the drops of these, the pre-orders for this went up on Tuesday, and I'm recording this on Saturday. And so, like, 4 to 5 days went by. I got the shipping notice on Wednesday. I got 3 of them. The limit was 3. I'm not going to really sort of justify that. If you didn't get one, I'm sorry, but I've had bad luck with quality issues on Origins. I sometimes have to buy a couple just to kind of mix match parts. Either an arm will be kind of miffed there, the harness will be wrong there, and also there's some customizations I like to do. If you follow my other Origins reviews, you can see there are some figures that I think need a little bit more touch up, so I have to sort of kind of give myself time to really get them into a nice kind of aesthetic. And so I want to see what these look like out of the box and pick out the best one. But obviously they come in these fantastic Masters of the Universe Origins mailer boxes. But yeah, let's open these up and see what's up. And here they all are outside the mailer boxes. I have to say, they look pretty fantastic. People have been saying that these are like basically a Faker blue or a Skeletor blue. Now, I haven't really had a Faker, not interested in Faker, but I have to say they're definitely not a Skeletor blue. Maybe some of the newer releases, I know they've been getting pretty wild with some Skeletor release colors lately, but this is definitely more like a teal aquamarine kind of blue on the body, and it pops. It's very neon, very kind of a day glow kind of blue, and I really enjoy that. Now, a couple of things. I'm definitely going to see which one might work because I'm looking at where the hinges are, where the knees are. I've never had very much good luck with knees. Some knees, the pegs on these are either too loose or they're not, or they're too, they weren't cut enough, and so they kind of hang off the peg there sometimes. And it seems like this might be the best one so far. There are some little plastic tags like on the elbow joint, but I don't really mind that much. It's only if like it gets in the way of the articulation. Like, see, little plastic tags there. Yeah, I think that this might be the best. My only point of concern is whether or not that's just because of how it was put in to the box. That's why the torso connection is angled. I wouldn't want to have like one where it's like weirdly askew. So I'm definitely gonna open the middle one up first, but a couple of points on the design of this in general, and you can see the same issue on the art. There's two big things. One is that in the original comic that this was based on, Masters of the Multiverse by Tim Seeley, the Iron Cross on the front, it was in a bone motif because he's Skeletor, bone motif. It's fun. It's a nice way of conglomerating the designs, kind of making this version of He-Man stand out. And you don't see that on the official art, but also one other thing is that he had white streaks in his hair. And you can see that on the official art, but he doesn't have white streaks on the figure itself. So one thing I want to do is I have my trusty Gundam marker, and the Gundam markers have been really fun and really great for me when it comes to Masters of the Universe Origins. They did a really great job with it on the 2000X Origins He-Man. Remember that video I made? You can find it in a playlist on my channel where I had to like add the square details, and the paint was a very near match, like 89% match to the regular He-Man paint. So hopefully this white Gundam marker can add a little more detail to the hair, and I'm going to try to do that. But let's open up the first one. The second ones, if anything goes wrong, I'll open them up, but my main plan is to, I don't know, maybe give these away to some of my friends who weren't able to get one of these, mail them off, or if they don't want them, maybe do a little raffle, get attention to the channel, and we'll see what happens with those. But let's get the first one out of its clamshell. All right, and let's see what happens with that. I'm not a Minton card collector, and I know that Mattel Creations used to have like these really impressive like slide back ones, and I think they still do for like the more premium releases now, like anything at PowerCon or Comic Con. But I wish it would have been the same for this one, because this is a really nice clamshell and really nice kind of little thing of history, because it's the first time it's been created to a figure. And I know Anti-Eternia He-Man's been around for ages, but this is a relatively new figure, and so it's nice novelty. But I'm gonna have to get rid of this this card back, and it's a shame because this is really cool, fantastic art. You get a little Battle Panther, I think he's called, some sort of Cthulhu figure, and a dimensional doorways everywhere. Well, let's get him open. All right, so here we have He-Skeletor, Anti-Eternia Skeletor out of the box, and already we came into a couple of problems. I skipped all over all of that because I didn't want you to, be witness to any of this. But the first one I tried opening up, the one in the middle. This is not the one in the middle. There was severe paint chipping on the wrist. Now the way it was packaged was rubbing against the plastic, and when I pulled it out, the gauntlet here was peeling really badly. Maybe the mold wasn't quite ready, or the paint wasn't quite dry when they put it into these packages, and it just sort of didn't do any service there. And then another one I tried looking into, it had that knee issue. Let's get the arm, and then there was paint blotches on a couple of them. Now, so I'm glad I bought three. I'm glad I bought three, and so I was able to get one put together. This is using mix and match pieces from all of them, basically, to get one that looks pretty good. And you can see I'm hinging the shield as far up on that forearm as I can, because I don't want anything touching these gauntlets. But I don't really think that maybe the paint is going to be that durable. Try and take extra precautions, but this is the compiled one I've gotten, and I still plan on giving out the other two, and I'm going to keep the card backs as pristine as I can, and I'm going to try to give them out with these mailer boxes as well, again, to either some mutuals who want a figure of this or raffle them off here. Hope you understand. But I have to say, this guy is fantastic. I think he's got such a great look, even though it is a basic repaint, and they could have done more, and I think they should have done more, like with the bone motif. I think the colors that they chose, obviously purple, but also this kind of like milky gold kind of color they have here. It's not the bone white on the original design in the comics, but it's very enigmatic. It stands out, and I really enjoy that. And you know what? Before I do any customization, we're going through some of the accessories. Got a standard Skeletor sword, purple. They've reused that for Skeletor ages. Standard He-Man shield, but instead of the, silver and the orange or orange-red, it's purple and that kind of milky gold. And then standard axe, purple. I'm looking around here. He doesn't come with two hands. Now, I really do hope that this is a faker blue, because then I can just get it, like, maybe see if I can get like a faker repro hand, or be like a blue kind of gripping hand. Because this isn't Skeletor blue, but maybe I could get away with it, if I use the Skeletor gripping hand. Because I like to have these figures both always have gripping hands as well. But we're going to see what I can do about that in the future. He comes with a mini comic, Crisis at the Multi-Core, and let's flip through it. It's a basic kind of multiverse comic. The Snake He-Man 2000X Skeletor. Then we have Anti-Eternia Skeletor, which is this guy pre-transformation, and they said it was going to go into like the origins of He-Skeletor in some of the press releases. It doesn't really. It just kind of introduces the idea of He-Skeletor to anyone who hasn't read Master Multiverse, which I implore that you do. If you're even a fan of any incarnation, it's a lot of fun. It's like Spider-Verse in a way, and I'm not just saying that because Spider-Verse is the in thing right now. It's got a lot in common with that in terms of just how much kind of fun it uses, and not taking himself too seriously. I do love this page. I'm holding on it for a while because you see like all the various Castle Grayskulls from all the different kind of movies and also cartoons. But I do love that they include like the actual toy, because like, oh, this is like Earth Prime Castle Grayskull, like the actual Figment toy. That's really nice. I like when they do that. Yeah, you know, it's nice. Let's see, is that a null sorceress? Is that like the Anti-Eternia sorceress? I don't think they had that in the Masters of the Multiverse comic that was set more on Anti-Eternia. You know, it's a nice little comic. It's nice, sweet, little simple. It doesn't really do much with, you know, He-Skeletor or Anti-Eternia Skeletor himself. But if you just want like a nice little primer, a nice little multiverse adventure, that's good enough. But you know what? Enough talk. Let's get out Anti-Eternia He-Man himself and let's compare them. All right, so now we have these two here side by side. I think they scale really well together. Now, usually with these ones, they can be a little bit loosey-goosey because of the way the knees are kind of molded and the boots are molded. Sometimes a peg will be a little bit longer, a centimeter longer, a millimeter longer, or the tolerances of the knees won't be as tight or as flexible. So some of them will stay stouted, some of them will be able to extend longer. But these two, I think, one thing I am noticing is that He-Skeletor is a lot more slouched. I don't think that there's anything kind of like up with his tolerances. Might just be like just how this is molded. But he does seem a little more slouched. I do like that. I do like that it kind of gives them a little bit more of a different appearance from each other. Because Anti-Eternia He-Man is a little bit more of a menace. I do have Anti-Eternia He-Man in his own little configuration. He's holding a kind of dual-bladed original style power sword, because his whole thing was that he wanted like both halves, and he was going across the multiverse to steal all the power swords. So nice. It's nice to give him like a different power sword than the one he comes with, which is the regular Anti-Eternia power sword there, just to show his kind of multiverse faring evilness. But yeah, no, it's nice to have both these together, and I really enjoy it. My whole Masters of the Universe Origins collection is sort of predicated on sort of having the dual sides of both. I'm not quite sure how long Origins is going to go and how far it'll go into like different incarnations of He-Man. I know that they released at HorrorCon, I believe, like last year, that television 4-pack of He-Man. But if all goes well, just like Masters of the Multiverse, I'll have a He-Man from one specific incarnation, not just the gimmicks, and a Skeletor from a specific incarnation, but just not the gimmicks, like Anti-Eternia He-Man Skeletor, and the 80s movie He-Man Skeletor, or original vintage style He-Man and Skeletor, etc. Outside like the 2000X He-Man Skeletor, you know, that kind of thing. You just have like that. I think that's really fun. And it's all based on just how much I enjoyed reading Masters of the Multiverse. And I think Tim Seeley did a fantastic job on that series. So fun. And so these guys basically inspired me really wanting to get into Origins. So to have them both side by side in Origins figure form, it's a delight. It's really delightful. But enough about that. Let's get into the main event for me here. Seeing if I don't mess up this guy's hair. So, well, let's see how we go. I think I should take the head off first and just do this properly so I don't get any paint on the rest of the body. And there we go. It just took a little bit, like 10 seconds, and I think this is like a vast improvement. I just added a little spice to the side on here, and I added just a little bit more onto the side there, and I think at the front it looks very good. A little bit of wispiness on the top. I had to like clean up a little bit, but I think it adds to the character, and I tried to get it just as close as I could to what it on the box. I think it's a little bit more pronounced in the Master Multiverse comic, but you know, I'm not going to do too much because I can't really do more here to make it look like the Masters of the Multiverse comic anyway. If this had been like white, I had plans of maybe like going more in depth using a simple sort of polymer mix, trying to recraft it a bit, but it's like this, you know, a really admittedly really lovely cream gold kind of color. So I can't really do, I'm not going to go that far in depth. I'm not one of those YouTube channels like, you know, Toy Poyoi that that go like really intense on those customizations. I wish I had their talent and skill. So this is just a quick and easy kind of custom DIY, but one that I'm really satisfied with for my collection. If you recall, I also did a basic custom paint custom on the vintage style Origin Skeletor. That didn't turn out great, but it's good enough for my purposes and for what I like to see and what I want to display. So that's nice. I might have to do a little more touch-ups as the years go by, but I don't want to like mess it up too far, because you know this might be as good as it gets, and if I do anything further, that might get worse. So best to err on the side of caution. Anyway, that's it for Anti-Eternia Skeletor, He-Skeletor. I really enjoyed the figure. I'm so baffled as for why this was a Mattel Creations release. I know it's a niche character. It's a niche comic. I mean, not even people who like Master Universe comics. I don't think really read it. Big Master Universe fans I've seen on YouTube and on social media were like surprised and didn't really know where this is from. So even if you're not a big Master Universe fan, please read it. It's really fun. It's a really entertaining comic, and it's a really fun figure. Basic repaint, obviously, but it's a fun repaint in all the best ways. And yeah. If I'm gonna see if any of my friends want the other two I have. They're still great. The paint chipping aside and some of the weird limbs aside, but this is the one I'm gonna keep. And hopefully they enjoyed it. But if not, I'll I guess make a video posting the details if there's a raffle or you know, a sweepstakes to give those away. But thank you so much for watching. Let me know, did you pick up a He-Skeletor, Anti-Eternia Skeletor? What do you think? Did you read the comic? Did you like the comic? Do you think this is a faithful representation of that character? Are you gonna try to do a paint custom? And if you do, please let me know like how that turned out. Hopefully better than mine. Again, this is as good as I can do, and I'm proud of that, but I really want to see how other people try to make this character either more their own or more faithful to the design concepts. So yeah, let me know, and leave a like, comment, subscribe, and see you again next time. Thank you for watching Unsourced Wall, and have a great day.